The Box by J.C. Welch. Chapter 2. I began to cry. I had to do something. The box was crushed. I needed to take him to the hospital. I carried the crushed box to my car as a guy in a ski mask was taking the car door off the hinges. He saw me coming and ran off with the car door. I ran after him, still carrying the box in my arms. I ran for a good mile, and then I realized I was near the hospital. I decided to drop off the box and continue chasing the guy with the ski mask. I caught up to him, and he hit me in the head with the box of tampons. It knocked me out, and he got away with the car door and the tampons. I was so depressed, when I came onto the sidewalk, I was hoping a car would hit me so I didn't have to face my wife when I told her I didn't get her tampons. I walked back to the hospital, and the doctor told me to wait out in the waiting room. I was trying to figure out why they call it a waiting room when the doctor came out. They told me they got Augie stable, but they had to remove the O and the Y in his name. I couldn't call him Augie anymore, so he'll just be known as the Box from now on. I got to see him all bandaged up and duct tape, and we bonded. When the Box was ready to leave, I took him back to the alley. Just as we had gotten back, the payphone rang. I thought it was my wife asking me where I was with her tampons, but it was just some guy who always said snack. "Hello," I said. "Snack," he said. "Who is this?" I said. "Snack," he said. "Snack," I said. "Snack," he said. "What do you want?" I said. "Snack," he said. "You want a snack?" I said. "Snack," he said. "Okay," I said. "Snack," he said. "Well, I'm gonna go," I said. "Snack," he said. "Bye," I said. "Snack," he said. I hung up the phone and noticed that the guy that stole my car door was back. I guess he was back for the rest of the car because he sped off with me running after him. I gave up after a block, and then I walked back to the box. The box was resting comfortably against two garbage cans in the hard concrete. I decided to call my wife and went over to the payphone. I didn't have any money, so I panhandled a dime off the drunken old man that sits in front of the grocery store. I went over to the phone, but it rang before I could get to it. It was the snack guy again, wanting a snack, but I didn't have any snacks for him. "Snack," he said, and I hung up the phone. I put the dime into the phone and dialed my wife's number. My wife picked up the phone after 12 rings, which is 15 less than how many rings she had on her fingers. She sounded different. She sounded very happy. She kept giggling like a schoolgirl, which was unusual for her. I asked her what was up, and she said the opposite of down. Now I knew something was up, because she never tells bad jokes. Something was up, and it wasn't just the sky. I had a feeling that she was with my dead grandfather, and I had a feeling he was up. I think she had that feeling too, so I hung up. I cried between two dumpsters, and after that I returned to the box to see how it was doing. The box was healing quite fast, and finally after 3 rainy days I was able to go inside it again. I ran into the stuffed giraffe, and he remembered me from my dream. We talked about how big the rabbi's bologna sandwich was, and we laughed. It reminded me of the time that I got bacon in my eye and I cried. I couldn't see and I couldn't change my underwear for a week. That reminded me to change my underwear, but I didn't have the money to get a new pair. Maybe that's where I got the butt lice from. I need cream for that. It was too late to go to the doctors, because they're only open 24 hours for people with insurance. Just then I ran into an old friend of mine, Jeeves the overgrown germ. "Hello," I said. "I haven't seen you since you gave me the flu in '98. How are you doing?" He was the type of guy that got into your head, and into your lungs, and into your stomach. He always asked me the stupidest of questions, like for example, "Why does your teeth look so bad?" I always tell him it's because I got my toothbrush from a garage sale, and I use maple syrup as toothpaste, but he knows me better than that. He knows me inside and out. He knows that I never learned how to brush my teeth, and he liked to mock me. He likes to tease me with the fact that I pick my nose and eat it. He was even nice enough to bring up the fact that I drooled down a girl's shirt when I was making out with her. I talked to Jeeves for a while, just catching up on more embarrassing moments of my life. He caught up with the fact that my wife was with my dead grandfather, and I caught his cold. He sneezed right in my face, and then he told me that he had to go. His mother gets upset when he comes back late. She would eat him alive for that. She gets sick and tired of him sometimes. So I had to leave Jeeves the overgrown germ, and I think I was allergic to his shirt, too. couldn't stop sneezing. I thought my head was going to explode. For some reason that reminded me of a haiku that I'd long forgotten, but I just remembered. Made for a woman, batteries are included. Ouch, I hurt myself. After that I ran into my African-American conjoined twin sister-in-law, Nikki, and she told me that her mother was worried about me. I thought about going home, but I knew that the box was my only home now. So I left my conjoined twin, which hurt me more than her, because she took my spleen and left me with the nerves. I didn't know what the spleen did exactly, but it sure hurt when she took it. I limped back to the box, not because my legs hurt, but because limping helps me get to places when I'm in pain. I sat on the couch and hurt. I sat there remembering a time when my wife and I were at a fancy restaurant. I couldn't afford the free bread and water. I had to wash dishes for a week straight, while my wife paid for her dinner and left. The memories were wearing me out, so I went to the restroom to take a nap. I woke up and took a bath in the bedroom. Then I was hungry, so I baked a cake in the laundry room. The cake tasted clean and soft. It was nice not being eaten by a cake for once. I hate it when it happens. It happens all the time, because I remember the cake at my cousins, sisters, older nephews, sons, granddaughters, godfathers, mothers' babies' wedding tried to eat me too. Well, after getting a full stomach, I put away my clothes in the kitchen. I went to the bathroom in the closet and relaxed. I fell asleep and woke up in the hamper. It reminded me to change my clothes, so I took off the clean clothes I was wearing. I put them in the hamper and put on some dirty clothes. The dirty shirt I was wearing had a fart joke on it. It was a really dirty shirt. It says on the front, "One time I farted and suddenly got the strange craving for eggs." On the back it has a huge fart stain that I made in a factory. They actually have a huge fart machine in that place. It's awesome. I wore muddy jeans and the underwear with real fart stains on it. I matched. I have a good fashion sense. My shoes and socks were still in the mud puddle outside. I went to get my shoes when I saw a Band-Aid on the sidewalk. The sidewalk had a boo-boo on it, so I kissed it to make it better. I got dirt in my mouth, so I spit it out. That was a bad idea because I hurt the sidewalk's feelings. The sidewalk started crying hysterically and ran me over with a steamroller. I was flattened into a person pancake and someone ate me. A cop saw the whole thing and gave me a ticket for spitting on the sidewalk. Actually, he gave the ticket to the guy who ate me, and he ate the ticket so that I could get it. I read it 3 days later and refused to pay it. I didn't have that kind of money. I had money with the smiley faces on them. I didn't pay the $2 ticket, so I went to jail. In jail I had to put the M's on the M&M's, but got fired for putting W's on them. Then I had to pick up trash on the highway, but I got hit by a jogger with a walker riding a bike in a car. I broke 3 arms, 14 fingers, 12 toes, and 5 legs. I went to the free clinic where I paid a doctor to give me shots. Good thing the doctor accepted smiley face money and the 2 cents that I found in the middle of the highway. The doctor gave me some pills to take, but they didn't work. They made me itch for 37 minutes, and I had to pee every 13 seconds. I left the doctor and peed all over myself. I left the doctor's office and peed all over myself. I got a drink at the water fountain and peed all over myself. I left the clinic and peed all over myself. I went down the steps and peed all over myself. I crossed the street and peed all over myself. I walked through the park and peed all over myself. I walked home and peed all over myself. I crawled into the box and peed all over myself. I went to the bathroom and peed all over myself. I stopped taking the pills and peed all over myself. Everything was better again, and I peed all over myself. As I wrote that, I peed all over myself. Anyway, I was in the box again. Home sweet home. The peeing pills wore off, but I was still in pain. It reminded me of the time that I pulled my muscle while I was playing my organ. It was a nice pipe organ, the kind that you see in church. I couldn't play it well, but I could play with it all night long. It got hard to play after breaking my right hand, so I try not to think about it much. To relieve myself of the pain, I took a hot bath with a naked rabbi. He let me eat a little bit of his bologna sandwich. It was pretty good. The mayo gave it flavor, and I liked the white bread. After we dried each other off, he left. I felt better, but I was exhausted. The bath was really relaxing, so I went to bed. I had a dream where my wife and I were playing a game of checkers. She was cheating, but I couldn't prove it. Every time I would turn around, my dead grandfather would take my checkers and put them in his pocket. My wife would keep digging into my dead grandfather's pocket to get it, but she would never get it. I don't know what that dream meant, but then again, what do dreams mean anyway? I woke up and shook the dream off. Then I forgot all about it. What was I talking about again? I see a paper with words on it in front of me, but I don't know what to do. Wait, I'm in the middle of a story. Okay, now I remember. I went out, but forgot my moon glasses. So when I looked at the moon, I went blind for 3 days and couldn't see either. That reminded me of a time I forgot my earmuffs, and I went deaf, and I couldn't hear for a week. It hurt. Anyways, I was blind and I had to feel around to find the box again. I was knocking over trash cans and old ladies from their walkers. I lived near a nursing home, evidently, because I haven't seen so many old people in my life. Well, when I could see, anyway. I finally found the box after 2 days of roaming blindly around the city. The last day I was blind, I watched blind TV, all Braille, all the time. That's just good television. TV seems to be for everyone nowadays. I didn't know Braille, though, so it was pointless. Especially when I had it on mute and closed caption. I should have slept. It would have made more sense. After I got my sight back, I visited the stuffed giraffe. He wasn't his talkative self. He just stood there staring at me. I asked him what was wrong, and he just stood there like a stuffed giraffe. Then I realized he was a stuffed giraffe, and I left. I never felt so dumb in my life, but I forgot the time that I failed kindergarten twice. I went home and sat on the couch. I watched some TV when my butt itched. I scratched it, but the itch didn't go away. I scratched it again, but it still didn't go away. I must have forgot to wipe again, so I wiped. The itch didn't go away. I didn't know what to do. So I decided to call the doctor and went to the payphone to call him. He said that he'll see me tomorrow afternoon sometime. I hung up the phone. I farted and the itch went away. I guess it was just a fart trying to get out. I felt stupid. Sometimes I don't think I have a brain inside my mind. I had to call the doctor back, but I forgot the number. I thought it was 6, but I was wrong. It was 9, but I didn't know that at the time. I went back to the box, and my friend Peter came over. He brought over a bag of peanuts and made a mess. There were peanut shells everywhere, and Peter left me to clean it up. I had to use tissues to clean it up, and it didn't work very well. It took me forever to get all those peanut shells out of the box. Messy, 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 I sang as I was cleaning up everything. I don't have much more to say about that except that it was messy. When I was finally finished, I had to clean that up too. That drove me nuts, you know? Afterwards, I was tired. I had to sleep. Cleaning all day made me tired. I slept all day, and when I woke up it was dark. What a beautiful day, I thought, when I opened up my shades. I went outside and got wet. It rained, and I fell in a puddle while trying to swim in a lake. I went back to the box and took a bath. Actually, I slipped in the tub trying to dry off, but it was the thought that counted. I landed on my liver. I guess I won't be having that for dinner tonight. All this talk about water makes me have to pee. Hold on, I gotta make yellow bubbles. Congratulations on getting through another chapter with me. I appreciate you guys listening to my story. If you want to, you could like and subscribe or comment to my story and how you like it so far. But anyways, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.